So I've always been a creative person. I went to college for industrial design, which is basically product design, and I've just always liked making things myself. My name is Chris Lamoth. I graduated from college about 3 years ago now. The student loans in our country is just a big racket, so I'm pretty swamped with those. I didn't feel comfortable trying to find an apartment or something that I was going to be continuously paying rent for. Originally I was thinking about maybe going to a van or something of that sort and just building inside of it, but I ended up choosing to build something on the back of this truck. It was my solution to my housing problem of knowing that I wasn't going to be able to afford to have housing, to make the housing on the rig. So this was the truck that I acquired. It was an old work truck, so it had a junk utility body on it and it had some lettering on the side. I took most of the lettering off, left their cool little logo, and branded the truck as Reggie. That's the vehicle I'm going to be living in. I'm going to be living inside of Reggie. Reggie had some problems. He's got a ripped seat and he has no instrument cluster. So I don't know how fast I go or how much gas I use. Those are problems I'll fix eventually. But the main thing was the fact that I had no back. I was able to rip that thing right off and created this beauty, this wooden masterpiece. I took an old truck rack that my dad had and I cut that down to a couple different pieces and welded it together and made this shape out of metal, and then proceeded to remove all these deck planks from a platform that we used to have up in the woods and put those back on. So I reused the wood, I reused the screws that I got from the deck, have a nice layer of rubber underneath the bottom, so then that way I don't have to worry about water kicking up. Again, didn't buy that. I did need some PT stock, some larger stock, but I was actually able to use that from jobs that I had taken for the past 3 years working as an electrician. Same with all the zip tape. Didn't buy any of that. That all just came from builders who didn't want to keep the last 4 or 5 feet on the roll of zip tape. I'd take it home, put it in a pile, now it's on the truck. The only 4 things that I've had to buy were these 4 bolts, just because I couldn't find bolts long enough that I was able to use. I didn't buy the sink. That was just a gift from my brother that he had lying around, so that worked out perfect for a shower. So far, I have, into this whole vehicle right now, I have about $500, and that's including the purchase of the vehicle. Really try to reuse as much material as possible. I know that this isn't a super eco-friendly vehicle because it is a gas eater, but I'm trying to leave my footprint as small as possible by trying to reuse as much stuff as possible. So I'm not going to have a lot of space, but I'll have enough space. Right here, it's going to be my hallway. Right here, that's going to be my kitchen. And then over here, I got my nice shower, so I'll be able to get all clean. Right here, I'll have my couch, which will also be my bed. And then I'll have a closet over in this space, and my doorway will be here. It's always important to have 2 points, at least 2 points of access to any homestead, in case there's a fire or I get rear-ended, as most homes do. I'm gonna have to be able to remove myself. So what I have done is I've made it so I'll be able to remove my sink entirely, and then I will go down. I'm gonna cut the muffler short, crawl down, and crawl on the ground. But if it gets me out alive, that's all that matters. So the next step is to build a short bed for the truck. These walls are only going to be about 10 inches tall, but it'll provide me with basically a foundation to build my house on top of. Ideally, this rig is going to be moving around full at all times, but I might want to just be riding around in just my truck. So that way I'll be able to remove the cap and still have a bed that I could just drive around in. Once I have these walls done and I have the full cap up, I'll have an asymmetrical slanted roof with more pitch on this side than that side. And on top of the roof, I'm gonna have 2 solar panels, along with a 3rd solar panel on the side of the rig. That solar panel on the side, I'll be able to awning up, which will reveal a window underneath, hopefully. But that'll also provide me with enough kilowatts to run a few batteries. These are just some of the solar panels that I might use. My brother, he worked in a solar company, so he's got a few of these kicking around. These solar panels are cracked, so they just look cooler. Now, it just means they don't work as well, but they still work. So, didn't pay anything for these, and that's the name of the game. I want to be able to have enough energy and power so then that way I can pull up wherever I want, turn on a TV, and play some games and relax for the evening. I gotta have lights and stuff like that. I've really been enjoying God of War. That was a lot of fun. The Last Guardian, I just beat that recently. That was a good one. And then I'm also gonna take either a 7 or a 10-inch PVC pipe, and I'm gonna get a black piece of PVC pipe, cap the ends off, and you'd be surprised at how much water you can fit in a pipe. So in that piece of pipe that'll probably be about 10 feet long, running the span of the roof, I'll have about 30 to 40 gallons of water, and that'll get heated up by the sun. So that'll all just be a gravity-driven system. So for my shower, I'll take water from that, and for my sink, I'll take water for that. And I want to try to make this from the outside not necessarily look like something that somebody's living in, but more so a truck that would pull up on a work site and people would be working out of. Stealth camping is a little hard to do in that, but it's easier to do. I can pull up, throw a couple cones out, leave a high-vis vest in the passenger seat, and people would just think it's a vehicle that was being used on a work site and left overnight. Or at least that's the hope. Alright guys, so that's kind of where I'm at right now with Reggie. I'm going to keep on working on him, and be sure to keep an eye out for more updates on Wicked Good Everything. And be sure to check out my Instagram at Chris V. Lamoth to look out for more.